Picture a calm, snowy Christmas Eve in a small, serene town. Imagine the tranquil blanket of white, where each snowflake is a silent promise of joy and warmth. The town, nestled in the bosom of winter, is a symphony of laughter and merriment, with twinkling lights dancing on every eve and the sweet aroma of gingerbread wafting through the chilly air. In the heart of this festive tableau we find our main character, a young girl named Lucy. Bright-eyed and brimming with the innocence of youth, Lucy is the epitome of Christmas cheer. She's the first to wake up at dawn to help decorate the towering Christmas tree in the town square, her small hands carefully placing each ornament with an excited giggle. Her laughter, pure and contagious, resonates through the cobblestone streets, adding to the symphony of the season. Lucy, like all the children in town, eagerly awaits the arrival of Christmas. The anticipation of presents, the joy of the feast, and the comfort of family gatherings all make her heart flutter with excitement. But there's something else, something unique to our little Lucy. A sense of adventure, a thirst for the extraordinary, always lurking in her bright blue eyes, always pushing her to expect more from this magical time of year. But what Lucy doesn't know, what she has no way of knowing, is that her small town is built on layers of history, each darker and more mysterious than the last. Beneath the joyous atmosphere and the town's festive veneer lies a chilling past, a forgotten tale, a legend that has been buried in time, only to resurface on this not-so-merry eve. As Lucy tucks herself into bed, visions of sugar plums dancing in her head, the town settles into a deceptive silence. It's the calm before the storm, the silent prayer before the battle. The clock ticks towards midnight, each passing second a harbinger of the chilling events that are about to unfold. Little did Lucy know this Christmas Eve was going to be unlike any other. Lucy's grandma began to tell a chilling tale that had been passed down through generations. In the heart of their small town, whispered among hushed conversations and wary glances, lay the legend of the Yuletide Terror. It was an entity, a malevolent force that would descend upon the town every Christmas Eve. Known for its insatiable hunger for fear, the Yuletide Terror was no ordinary specter. The legend was as old as the town itself, woven into the tapestry of its history, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked behind the joyous festivities. Grandma's voice echoed through the room, her words painting a vivid picture that made the Yuletide Terror seem as real as the Christmas tree standing in the corner. She spoke of how it would slither through the shadows, its icy breath frosting windows and chilling the air. It was said to be a tall, ominous figure, draped in the darkness of the winter night, with eyes that glowed like the embers in the fireplace. Its presence was always announced by a haunting melody, a twisted version of a Christmas carol that echoed through the biting cold. It was a creature of contradiction, a being that thrived in the joyous season, feeding off the fear it instilled in the hearts of the townsfolk. The Yuletide Terror was not interested in the physical realm, but rather the emotions that pulsed through the town like a heartbeat. The dread, the anticipation, the frantic whispers of its name, all added to the delicious feast it savored every Christmas Eve. As Grandma's tale unfolded, the room seemed to darken, the flickering lights casting long, eerie shadows. Each word, each sentence brought the Yuletide Terror to life, its chilling presence palpable in the room. The tale was a part of their town, their history, a chilling narrative passed down from generation to generation. As the tale ended, a chill wind blew, extinguishing the fireplace. The room fell silent. The only sound was the soft rustle of the wind against the window pane, as if the Yuletide Terror itself had stopped by to listen. The clock struck midnight, and the house plunged into an eerie silence. Suddenly, Lucy's home, once filled with the warm glow of Christmas, felt cold and alien. The string of twinkling lights around the Christmas tree flickered erratically, casting long, dancing shadows across the room. A shiver ran down Lucy's spine as she watched the lights, their rhythm unsettlingly offbeat. It was as if the house itself had started to breathe, its heartbeat irregular and ominous. Then there were the drafts. Bone-chilling gusts of wind that seemed to come out of nowhere, sweeping through the house, rattling the window panes and making the old wooden floors creak. The drafts carried with them a strange metallic smell, like rusted iron and something else. Something ancient and musty, like old books left to rot in a forgotten library. Lucy wrapped her arms around herself, her mind racing. The whispers of the village legend echoed in her ears, the tale of a ghostly figure that roamed the village every Christmas Eve, seeking revenge for a betrayal that happened centuries ago. She had always dismissed it as a mere bedtime story, a piece of folklore meant to scare children into behaving. But now, alone in her house with the silence of the night pressing in on her, she wasn't so sure. Her heart pounded in her chest, each beat echoing the ticking of the clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock! The sound was hypnotic, pulling her in, wrapping her in a blanket of fear. Her breath hitched as she saw her breath fog up in the cold air. It wasn't supposed to be this cold inside. With each passing second, the silence grew louder, the darkness thicker. The house creaked and groaned, settling in for the night, but to Lucy, every sound was magnified, every shadow a potential threat. The legend, once a distant tale, was now a living nightmare. Then, just as she was about to convince herself that it was all in her head, a sudden noise made her jump. It was a thud, loud and clear, and it came from the attic. With a racing heart, Lucy decided to investigate the noise. Her heartbeat pounded in her ears as she slowly began her ascent towards the attic. The wooden staircase creaked under her weight, every groan and squeak echoing ominously through the silent house. The air grew colder, and a chill ran down her spine, making her shiver uncontrollably. Her breath fogged up in the icy air, each exhale forming a ghostly cloud in front of her face. The attic loomed above her like a beast waiting to pounce. It was a place of forgotten memories and discarded items, a place where dust and cobwebs were the only signs of life. Yet, Lucy couldn't shake off the feeling that something else was there, lurking in the darkness. She reached the top of the stairs, her hand trembling as she pushed open the creaky attic door. The musty smell of old books and mothballs filled her nostrils. She squinted in the dim light, her eyes scanning the room, and that's when she saw it. Peculiar signs of the Yuletide terror. Sprigs of holly were scattered across the floor, their bright red berries oddly vibrant against the dull, dusty attic. A single, tarnished silver bell lay in the corner, its once joyful jingle, now a haunting echo in Lucy's mind. And, most disturbing of all, a twisted, grotesque parody of a Christmas wreath hung from the ceiling, its pine needles sharp and threatening. Lucy felt a cold dread seep into her bones. The Yuletide terror wasn't just a legend, it was real, and it had been here. In this very attic, she could feel its presence, a malicious spirit that seemed to feed off her fear. The air grew even colder, and a sense of impending doom washed over her. The silence was shattered by a sudden noise behind her. Lucy whirled around, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling with fear. But there was no answer, only the echoing silence of the attic. And then, suddenly, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. There, in front of Lucy, stood the Yuletide terror. Its silhouette, a grotesque mockery of holiday cheer, loomed ominously in the dimly lit attic. The air was thick with tension, a silent standoff between a young girl and a creature born from the darkest corners of Christmas lore. Lucy had always been a brave girl, a trait that now served her well. Her heart pounded in her chest, a rhythmic battle drum against the chilling silence. Yet her eyes held a determined glint. She wasn't about to let this nightmarish entity steal her Christmas spirit. With a deep breath, Lucy drew upon her courage. She remembered the stories she'd heard, the tales of the Yuletide terror and its insatiable hunger for fear. But Lucy wasn't about to serve up her fear on a silver platter. She had a different plan. She began to sing, her voice shaky at first, but growing stronger with each note. It was a carol, a hymn of faith and hope, sung with such conviction that it echoed through the attic. The Yuletide terror recoiled, its form flickering like a candle in the wind. It was as if the pure essence of her song was a bane to the creature, a beacon of light piercing through its darkness. Lucy didn't stop. She sang louder, her voice ringing out a solitary choir in the face of terror. She poured her heart into the song, every note an affirmation of her courage, a testament to her spirit. She was Lucy, the girl who wouldn't be terrorized, the girl who stood up to the Yuletide terror. The creature writhed, its form dwindling with each passing moment, diminishing under the weight of Lucy's unwavering courage and the power of her song. And then, just as the first stroke of midnight echoed from the distant church, the Yuletide terror vanished. As the church bells rang out, the Yuletide terror vanished, leaving Lucy alone in the attic. The echoes of her song lingered, a triumphant melody that had conquered the terror of the night. Lucy had faced the Yuletide terror and emerged victorious, her spirit undaunted, her courage unbroken. Christmas morning arrived, and with it, a newfound peace. The sun's first rays painted the icy rooftops with hues of gold, washing away the remnants of the night's horror. The town, once held captive by the Yuletide terror, was now free, its silence replaced by the joyous sounds of Christmas. In the aftermath of the incident, one name echoed through the snow-laden streets: Lucy. She had emerged from the shadows, a brave heroine who dared to challenge the terror that had gripped her town. Her courage was a beacon in the darkness, a testament to the human spirit that defies even the most fearful odds. Lucy was not a warrior, nor a superhero, but an ordinary girl with an extraordinary heart. She had faced the Yuletide terror, not with weapons or spells, but with her unwavering faith in the power of love and unity. It was this indomitable spirit that had vanquished the fear, illuminating the darkness with the warmth of Christmas. As the town rejoiced, the spirit of Christmas came alive in its truest form. It was not about the twinkling lights, the beautifully wrapped gifts, or the grand feasts. It was about bravery, love, and unity. It was about standing together, even when the world seemed to be falling apart. It was about believing in miracles, even in the face of the impossible. The festive cheer echoed in every corner of the town, but it was not just a celebration of Christmas. It was a celebration of Lucy, their brave heroine. It was a celebration of their victory over fear. But most importantly, it was a celebration of the miracle that had unfolded on Christmas Day. Lucy's story was a reminder that even in the darkest times, the human spirit shines the brightest. It was a reminder that love and unity are the greatest weapons against fear. It was a reminder that miracles do happen, especially on Christmas. And so, Lucy's Christmas Eve horror story turned into a Christmas Day miracle. Her bravery had transformed a night of terror into a day of triumph, proving that even in the face of fear, the spirit of Christmas prevails.